Actually, I was asked to make my presentation on modality, microfinance modality in Nepal. And given time was, sorry? Yeah, time given was 10 minutes. It's challenging, of course. But good thing is that our president, NMBA president, Ram Yadavji, he has covered many issues that I was about to talk. So he has made my job easy. So I will definitely reduce my time. So I think I will manage my presentation within the given time frame, 10 minutes. I do have a little different opinion from what we heard this morning and this afternoon. Though Yadavji had presented kind of in a social business, commercial business, profit motive, and charity, whatever, this issue he talked about a little bit and covered the issue. I will be talking about almost similar, point. Do have some logic why we are talking about social, commercial, whatever, about microfinance. Because we have been talking about microfinance, for a long time, that whether it is social business, whether it's we are been focusing on the poverty reduction, poverty eradication, whether we are doing business, commercial business, profit motive, sustainable financing, whatever. But everyone has a different opinion. I don't know why we have a different opinions. It should be one. So I just went through some, journals, reports, and found something, and came and brought that point. So that was the origin. We have a different opinion. Microfinance concept, the philosophy, the approaches was started with a different two school of thoughts. That's my whole presentation about. Slide next. So, okay. Tall again. So my session outlines 5-6 points. So I don't have to wait on that. So movement, we have been talking a lot because how it started as a charity in 15th century and 70s, Bangladesh, we all know about it, and Brazil, 1980s, then it started like a commercial type. UN General Assembly, World Bank, Universal Financial Access, and targeting like now we are digital financial inclusion stage. Financial inclusion 2020s. I mean, by 30s we will have a SDG. We are targeting SDG as well. So this is the whole history how microfinance evolving. So similar picture that we saw in the morning, but it is something different. 80s we used to call it microcredit. 20s microfinance, access to finance, and now digital finance. That's moving towards digital age, microfinancing, with inclusive financing. So I don't have to explain that. Two approaches, that's my key notes. I mean, main theme of the session, my presentation. How we came with the social concept, microfinance. Grameen Bank, all we know, Professor Yunus, who is the state head now in Bangladesh, he came with the microfinance thought. That's a new wave we call about. Access to finance, access to credit is a right. That was a philosophy. Access to credit is a right approach. And he said that with that he aimed at to put poverty in museum. Look at that, how golden, beautiful, thought he had. Put the poverty in museum. That was a thought. It started in 1970s. Credit is not based in monetary, physical collateral, but rather it is a trust. We have to emphasize it's a trust. Credit is based on trust. That is philosophy of social microfinance, social approach. And social capital, the loans being given for groups, not individual. That is how we started social banking. This is called Global South to Social Rights Approach. That's I came with the number of journals, research papers. They talk about how the microfinance evolved. When it was started in 1970s, the new microfinance, I would say, modern microfinance, 1970s, It was started like a social approach, social rights approach. Poverty, credit is a rights. Group guarantee, no collateral, no individual. That's the basic philosophy of social rights approach. Later, 1980s, of course, 70s, that Grameen Bank was moving, of course, doing their job. But after 1980s, then World Bank, IMF, USAID, UN, United Nations, they came with some different thought. I mean, microfinance, yes, but ultimate objective is, of course, fighting poverty, but it is considered within the business world and market opportunity. Terminology is something different because market opportunity. It should be come with the business world. They say that doing a business with the poor, we still can make a business. With the poor, we can still make a business, but logical one. Of course, not exploiting whatever, you know. Though we talk about business, but still the people who are involved, who will be working with microfinance institution, will be benefited. They will have a different, of course, impact, social impact, economic impact, and so forth. We talked about a lot, you know, how microfinance are supporting to its final beneficiary, in beneficiaries, in different aspects, of course. They do also have a similar thought. Microfinance should support them, should hit kind of poverty reduction, it should address economic aspect, but at the same time, it should do a business, market opportunity, sustainable financing. That is how we have a different school of thought. I said social approach and in this market opportunity approach. This is this approach considers understand microfinance mainly as a market tool. It's considered a market tool, market efficiency, strong belief in market efficiency, understanding poverty as a business, and like that others, it should be profitable, of course, because we have been talking in the morning as well, you know, it should be profitable. I was sharing my informal talk. I was talking with Mr. Ghosh, and he said that, yes, it should be profitable. If the institution is not sustainable financially, how can it serve the people? You know, it can continue its operation, of course. So it should be profitable. It should do some business. So, but to what level? To what extent, of course? There has to be some demarcation. There has to be some clear. Am I running out of time now, sir? Okay, so I will manage it. So, they said this second thought says that access to finance and fighting poverty can be achieved under the broader banner financial inclusion. We don't have to say that we have been contributing, we have been doing poverty eradication, we have been helping the people, poor people, helping them. No, we don't have to say that way. Broader banner financial inclusion, we still can contribute their financial needs, we still can contribute them social needs, we still can, you know, that we can contribute to uplift their livelihood. So, but we can say it's like a financial inclusion, broader, under broader finance banner, that's financial inclusion. That is the second thought that I talked about, market opportunity approach, north to global south, market efficiency approach. Okay, why? So what is happening now? So where are we going? What is happening globally? So people say that, why it is happening? But there are two schools of thoughts, social approach, social rights approach, and market efficiency approach. Where are we going now? Where is the world moving to? I mean, mobility of microfinance policy, that is terminology, I liked it, because we have been changing, the policy is changing towards second thought, mobility of microfinance policies. That is the first one. And they also talked about the policy diffusion, policy transfer, that concentration has been changed from one place to another one. They used to have concentration one type, now it is moving towards other one. So that's called policy diffusion, diffusion of policy. So that's what's happening in the world now. If we look at the whole history of for last 30 years, how they started, where are they now is something different one. So I would say, mobility of microfinance policy. That's my thought is, I'm explaining about. So microfinance paradigm shift, how it is changing. I think exactly the same thing was discussed in the morning, Mr. Yadavji. Subsidized to commercialization, solidarity group to individual, NGO to microfinance D in Nepalese context, self-regulation to prudential regulations, supply-driven to demand. This is how we have been changing, because microfinance is changing. So we are not on the same position that we used to be some 40 years back, 50 years back, I was 70s I'm talking about. So there are a lot of changes in terms of policy, in terms of practices, in terms of thought. Next, moving forward, Nepalese context, where do we stand? Where are we now? What we say about microfinance? Different understanding, I would say paradox. We have a mushrooming microfinancing. If we look at the last 7 years, so many institutions are registered. Why? What's the reason behind that? To serve the people? To do the charity? To do the social banking? Why? Because of policy. Policy was completely different one. So, different thought. Who entered in the industry lately, they say that it's purely business. Who are in the industry for, let's say, 2 decades, 3 decades, they say that it's a social business. Look at that paradox. We have been guided by the same regulation, same provisions, regulatory provisions. So registered as a public company, D-class financial institution, provision equity, market listed, stock market. Now we have a tight regulatory provisions. If you look at the central banks, Nepalese context, current context, very tight, I would say, for microfinance. Like interest cap, I was going through a lot of documents, India, there is spread at 12%, interest cap is 26, if I'm not wrong. But we have a 15% cap. We borrow loan at around 13, 14%, can you imagine? Then we are asked to do social business. That's the thing. What we have been saying, what we are doing. Capital adequacy, we talk about interest cap, reporting, periodic reports, supervisory information system. We have to report every day, microfinance institution. That's a regulation, I would say. Strong regulation, strict regulation, highly regulated. So many other regulatory requirements. But we still say that we are doing social business. We still are asked to do a social business. People are expecting from us that you should do a social business. I don't know how. There are investors, private sector equity. We have to be responsible to them. We have to, make them happy as well, because there are private investment. We never should forget about that. Private investment. People are investing money to have some return out of the investment. So we should consider that part as well. Highly commercialized operation, lucrative business. Now microfinance is considered a lucrative business. Look at the stock market. So the highest market rate. Why? So that's the paradox. We do one thing, we say something different one. I'm almost at the end. Conclusion, microfinance should be redefined in Nepalese context. Rules should be clarified, because we have been living with the paradox. We are expecting, there is expectation from us that we should do some social business, but we are highly regulated. There is something different one. So there has to be clarity, whether it is social, or it's commercial, or what, in between. Working with the poor, sometimes some colleagues, they say that we are working with the poor, serving to the poor. So we should not talk about the business. No, people can do business, serving to the poor as well. I have given 2 local businesses in Nepalese context, Bhat Bhatani and NTC. Bhat Bhatani is a purely private, they are grocery shop. They do reasonable pricing, serving all people in the cities, mostly in the cities. There are poor, middle class, upper class. Very reasonable pricing. They say that they are also serving people, right? But at the same time, they are making business. They never say that, Bhat Bhatani never says that they are doing social business. Not charity, no. NTC government institution, that's a very much government stake, they also are serving the people. They are providing communication service to the people, poor to upper class, higher class people. They are also working for the poor, of course. But they are making business. They were distributing profit more than 50%. Why I took this example is the high profitability. That's the point. Because that's a government one. Government now says that microfinance should not make high profit because we are serving the people, poor people. How about NTC? NTC is also serving the poor people. They are making profit from those people who are in the country. But still they are distributing high profit. So that's, again, how do we take it? Okay, my point is we would have a very, very little or no room to address social agenda if microfinance are highly regulated. That's my point. If it is highly regulated, no room for any changes, there will be little room for the social activities. Access to finance and fighting poverty can be achieved under the broader banner of finance inclusion. Again, I repeat the same word that I talked earlier. It's not that even if it is profit-making, profit motive, microfinance can do whatever it wants. No, it is not. There should be some regulation. There should be some guidance. But we can still do some business, make profit, and at the same time serve the people. Social business, social part, or economic part. Yeah, this is all from my end. Vinod sir, I think I was on time. Thank you very much for listening to me.